Let's talk about one of the most disturbing videos on YouTube. How is it even still up? I don't know. It's called my no, but this man actually does have his grandma in his backyard. The video was posted in 2010, but Joey, the person who posted this video, says that they recorded it in 2008. Not only does it have a really strange intro, he shows the coffin, and then kisses it. He states that she passed away in 1945. He basically takes care of in the coffin. So aside from how strange this video is, I kind of find it sweet that he's doing this, but personally, I wouldn't want someone to kiss my no, especially on camera. So yeah.
Let it be known immediately if you see someone who looks like this. Today we're going to talk about one of Korea's worst disappearance cases, the Pocheon Middle School manicure disappearance case. This case has been unsolved for approximately 20 years, and there are some seriously disturbing facts about the case. And yes, it has to do with bright red manicure. One night, Hyuna, a nice middle school girl, was hanging out with her friends. It was getting late and Hyuna decided to go home. At around 6:18 p.m., Hyuna called her mom. Hyuna told her mom that she was going to take an isolated back road because then it would only take about 5 minutes to get home. Hyuna lived in or around Pocheon, a more isolated and spread out area than a busy city like Seoul. Also, nowadays in Korea, you have CCTV cameras everywhere. Back then, not so much. Because she was so close to home, Hyuna's mom assumed that she would be home very soon. She never came home. The police were notified, but she couldn't be found and it was ruled in what I believe was a runaway. If you knew Hyuna, it didn't make sense because she seemed to have a happy home life. A few weeks later, only a few miles from her house, her notebook, bag, and shoes were found. Not too long later, her cell phone and sneaker shoes were found. Approximately 3 months later, a man was around the area where you see right now. Near the road was a drain. The drain hole was covered by the paper box you see behind me. The man looked inside the drain and was shocked to see what he found. It was Hyuna. She was all crumpled up without anything on, and she was not amongst the living. But there was something even more shocking about her. Her fingernails and toenails were perfectly cut, but even worse, they were delicately painted in a pure red. I'm talking like bright red. Police tried to gather how her body would be crinkled up like that, and the most reasonable conclusion that they would come up with was that she was placed inside a little box, like you see behind me. Now, who did it? To find out, the police went to a nearby nail shop. The police stated that in or around the time that Hyuna disappeared, a pale, frail man came into her shop. The man referred to her as Onni. In Korean, usually only girls call older girls Onni. Man does not usually use Onni. Still, no one could find him. After 16 years of Hyuna's disappearance, a witness finally called in after watching a show. She stated that a week before Hyuna's disappearance, a man in a white car attempted to kidnap her. While she was trapped in her car, she jumped out of the car while it was going. He stated that the man's skin was so pale, as if he were wearing makeup. He also stated that his nails seemed to have some sort of clear manicure. It was almost shiny. The colored drawing you see is what we have after her description. When the incident occurred, Hyuna's mom said she didn't want or need anything, she just wanted her daughter back. Police still haven't given up on this case.
Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm going crazy. But why is this all happening all at literally I'm not even playing with you. Like every single video I swipe in my feed has to do with this. Has to do with this shit. And it's like, why are they getting so bold all of a sudden? And on top of that, it's the timing. It's the timing because it's getting so close to Halloween and it's getting so close to October to the point when Halloween comes around, costumes are like expected. So it's like, then you're really not going to know who they are because they could be wearing a mask. They could be wearing a costume. Like y'all remember a few years back, like not too long ago, There's an epidemic of killer clowns coming out of the woods, the corners, hell, knocking on your house windows, trying to scare the fuck out you around Halloween time. Like, why is it always around Halloween time?
Did you hear about that dude in Alaska who was living with bears?
Oh, you got 8?
Yes, bro.
The bear right next to me is Cracker, and she's enjoying a fish right now. I love you, Cracker.
Hey, did you hear the audio of him getting eaten?
I didn't hear the audio, but there is audio.
Bro.
So there's this dude who was living with bears, and then he recorded this. Supposedly it's his last footage, and that footage of the bear is the bear that killed him, and everything was recording from video to audio. Video for sure exists, but it's like nowhere like you can find. But you can hear the audio online.
It's crazy, bro. Him and his
his wife, no?
For once there is weakness, they will exploit it. They will take me out. They will decapitate me. They will chop me into bits and pieces. I'm dead. So far.
Trick 'r Treat is being released in theaters this Halloween season. If you are not familiar with Trick 'r Treat, this is my favorite Halloween movie. This is a horror anthology movie, so it's a bunch of different scary stories all happening in the same town on the same night. Not a ton of folks know about this movie, but over the years it's developed a cult following and has gotten pretty big. There's a reason it's not super well known, even though it's a great film. You might have noticed that I said Trick 'r Treat is coming to theaters, not Trick 'r Treat is coming back to theaters. There are a ton of great scary movies being re-released this Halloween season, like Scream 2, The Lost Boys, the original Halloween. But this is not a re-release. Not everyone knows this, Trick 'r Treat was direct-to-home video. It was originally supposed to be widely released theatrically, but for unknown reasons, Warner Brothers shelved the movie and then a couple of years later sent it straight to DVD. Some say they didn't want it to compete with Saw, others say they didn't know how to market it, but whatever the reason, it's finally happening.
Tonight we're going higher, and it's alright. Higher, just for the night. And it's alright. Higher, 'cause when those eyes are red, we're getting higher. Heard of you with you, and we'll heard of you with you. I've heard of you with you, and we'll
What is normal at 3 p.m., but terrifying at 3 a.m.? A phone call from parents/relatives, etc. Sound of an ice cream van. I must now buy an ice cream van to drive around at 3 a.m. Children playing outside. Especially flying a kite. Someone knocking on the door. Somebody ringing the bell. A kid's toy going off in a random room. My kids used to have a book that, when opened, played nursery rhymes. It turns out that when the battery is running low, the book does two things. 1, it plays the tune even while closed. 2, it plays the tune really slow and in a lower pitch. You can see where this is going, right? Middle of the night, me and my husband are woken by Twinkle Twinkle Little Star being croaked at us from under our toddler's bed. A child laughing. There's nothing more precious than a child's laughter, unless it's 3 in the morning and you don't have kids. The sound of a branch breaking when you're outside.